Hello, hello, and welcome back, everybody. It's Season 3 of the IRS GT4 Championship, hosted on GTplanet.com. And we're back for Season 3. This is Race 1 at Interlagos. Let's pull up the telemetry for you, so we can keep tabs on what's going on with the drivers, the cars. We'll run through the order now. First place, on pole, we have Timlour, the Season 2 champion. He'll be defending his crown this season. Started off right by securing pole. Starting second, we have Turbo. If you recall and you followed us last season, you know Turbo is a force to be reckoned with. He was a latecomer in Season 2, didn't come into the championship till about halfway into the season, won a gaggle of races there. Really was not a threat to Timlour last season due to his late entry, but certainly a force to be reckoned with. It'd be interesting to see those two battle. We got Little Chicken Nugget, a newcomer, a meaty little newcomer to the series. Welcome, Chicken Nugget. Looks like he's up in third, so he's getting off to a strong start. Fourth, we have Mo Power, a series veteran. Moby 45 in the Supra, also a series veteran. Another newcomer, the JW1010 in the Aston Martin V8 Vantage. Starting seventh, we've got Whitey 93, running the McLaren this season. He was in the Corvette last season. Eighth, we have Gentleman Racing, your series organizer and host. Pie for July in the Honda NSX. GTP Guido joining us from over in Germany. Should note that these races take place at about 9 o'clock at night Eastern time, so it's about 2 in the morning there. So shout out to Guido for joining. He's a series regular as well. In 11th, we got Race Fan, another series regular. 13th, Flano. 14th, Penguin, a series regular. Flano's also a newcomer. And in 15th, Drummer. Coming up to the start, should tell you this season the field is divided into pros and pro-ams, much as last season, but it's much more clearly thought out, although some adjustments may have to be made. Your pro-ams start from Gentleman Racing on back through the field. So Gentleman Racing, Pie for July, Guido, Race Fan, Johnny, Flano, Penguin, and Drummer are all in the pro-am division. And from Timlour down to Whitey are the pro division drivers. All right, so we're coming up on the race start here. And they're off. Timlour takes the inside line, wants to hold on to that pole position, and set the pace for this race. Looks like we get through. Looks like the rest of the field gets through no problem. Tight pack racing here. Timlour opens up a lead. Turbo's got Nugget and Mo Power to contend with. They look like they're going to start battling each other, actually. Yeah, Mo Power looking to challenge on the outside, coming into the right-hander. Pardon me, taking a sip of my coffee. Yeah, it's my third attempt on this video. Some problems with the replay save, so bear with me. So you can see everybody running the racing softs. If you're new to the series, I'll bring you up to speed. Basically, it's a GT4 championship utilizing the Group 4 race cars in GT Sport. Only the front engine, rear wheel drive, and mid-engine rear wheel drives are permitted. There's no front engine, front wheel drive, no four-wheel drive cars, no all-wheel drive stuff. Trying to kind of emulate stuff that goes on in the real world. These are, you know, big tours, GTs, and sports cars here. So it looks like Timlour's trying to set the pace here. I got a feeling he and Turbo are gonna check out, especially given that Mopar and Chicken Nugget are going at it here. Moby looking to get the double draft here behind these two huge cars. I think we got a pack of 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th positions all fighting. Let's follow JW. He's right in the middle of this pack here. Hopefully there's no issues. Looking good though here on lap 3. Ooh, Whitey takes a look inside, coming out of the long uphill right-hander. And he's tucking it inside again. Gentleman Racing's kind of hanging back. Third, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. So Gentleman Racing, the first Pro-Am, hanging tight with these Pro Class drivers. But what's important to note is that Pro-Am drivers will accrue ballast as well, depending on their finishing position within their class. So if the race finishes as it is now with Gentleman Racing in the lead amongst his Pro-Am peers, he's going to pick up 3%, which 3% is the maximum weight a Pro-Am driver can get. The pros can accrue ballast all the way up to 5%. So he's going to go, if it were to finish this way, he would go into race 2 with 3% of additional weight, which is almost about 90 pounds. Doesn't seem like much, but yeah, it adds up. And then Desert Penguin, second in the Pro-Ams, would pick up 2%, and then Guido would pick up a 1% ballast. We're trying to mix it up this season, get the Pro-Ams more involved with one another. Sometimes there could be a little bit of a performance gap between them, but we're going to try to close that up and see if it works here. Now, up until race 4, it is possible that a driver could be moved up or moved down based on their performances up to that point, you know, lap times, finishing positions, and so on. We're going to try to match up drivers as best we can. You know, there's always going to be some drivers who are in that, you know, situation, that limbo situation where they're a little too fast for Pro-Am, a little too slow for Pro, but we're going to try to balance it out here, albeit a little artificially, but it's not too different from what they do in the real world. So let's get back up to that pack here. So Gentleman Racing, the first of the Pro-Ams, really doing a nice job to hang on to these Pro Class drivers. As you can see, the bit of a gap he's got back to Desert Penguin. You know, that's not to say that Desert Penguin wouldn't reel Gentleman Racing in, but right now it's looking like he's in position to finish first among the Pro-Ams. We're going to see if we can do some things, see if drivers can add some things to their liveries to kind of differentiate. Maybe colored mirrors or something like that. And he's still hanging on there. Oh! Gentleman Racing makes contact with JW. He's got damage. Gentleman Racing got damage to his aero, and JW as well, but he's also got suspension damage. So per the rules of contact, Gentleman Racing, if JW pits, Gentleman Racing should really follow him in. However, it looks like Gentleman Racing was flashing his lights at him. Will JW pit? Oh, Gentleman Racing passes him, but stays out. Oh, a clear violation. CJW having to pit on lap 5. No good. This is typically a series where it only calls for one stop. This would, I don't even know that he'd be able to get enough fuel. And he's got to sit in there, get repairs, takes new tires. I don't think he took any fuel. Let's see where Gentleman Racing is. Well, Gentleman Racing is losing position to Desert Penguin. So everything we said earlier about Gentleman Racing and his advantage amongst the other Pro-Ams out the window due to his poor racecraft. Causes damage to another driver, disobeys the rules regarding incidents involving contact and damage. So the stewards, race stewards, and organizers are gonna be looking at that. Most highly probable that he's gonna get a pretty severe penalty, probably time added to his finish, and he'll drop some positions. But very unfortunate. Not a good way to welcome JW to the series. He's out ahead of Drummer, but he may be a way back from, yeah, he's a ways back from Pi. So he's basically out there running on his own. New tires and the car is fixed, but that's a large gap to try to overcome in a place here that relies heavily on handling and that draft on a few of the straights. So it's gonna be tough, but hopefully he sticks it out. Now up at the front, we've got Timlour. Looks like Turbo is closed up and they've gapped Chicken Nugget. Yeah. Nugget and Mopower still at it, 7 laps in. It looks like Moby and Whitey are battling as well. So 3 separate battles up front among the pro drivers. Timlour and Turbo going at it. Chicken Nugget and Mopower, and Moby and Whitey. Saw Whitey get loose there. He's probably got McLaren understeers a little bit. You know, we got tuning is prohibited in this series. So, you know, you got to run with how PD has set the car up, and that McLaren tends to, I don't know, tends to get understeering. It gets worse as the race goes on and the tires wear as well. Probably got the brake bias set to the back there, help him turn in. McLaren and Toyota going at it. Let's check on Gentleman Racing. Looks like he's got back ahead of Desert Penguin. Some argy-bargy there through the final turn. Oh boy, oh boy. Gentleman Racing came in here today, you know, with a bad attitude, I think. Oh, look at the bumper. Look at the front bumper. Scrapes all over everything. Yeah, he's been a bad boy. And now he's got Guido on his inside, making a move on him. He's been dropped down to 9th. So, yeah, it's possible that these other Pro-Ams are skeptical of Gentleman Racing's placement in their division. So, they'll take full opportunity get by him. You got Johnny now. Johnny now alongside Gentleman Racing. Gentleman Racing holds a tight line. Oh, Johnny's got some damage too. What happened here? Perhaps a little scuffle with somebody? Yes, looks like Race Fan and Johnny have been battling. We have to watch this. This might have been going on for some time, right under our noses. A Ferrari and a Corvette GT4. Oh, only Polyphony Digital could bring us this. I don't think we'd ever see a 458 Italia and a C7 Corvette in the GT4 category. But we'll take it because they look good and they're fun to drive. Blano's falling back to those guys a little bit. But if he keeps it clean, he can reel him in, because they look like they're gonna continue to battle. Bye for July on with a 3/10 of a second penalty, and JW struggling, just not the same after getting abused by the series coordinator. Awful. That coordinator's awful. Apologies to JW. Hopefully this doesn't turn him off to the series and he returns. Good participant, good competitor. Just, fortunate circumstances. Yeah. Now it looks like Whitey. Looks like Whitey's gotten by Moby. Wonderful liveries on both these cars. It's kind of a thing. Nice looking livery. Custom. Yeah, it looks like Whitey's gotten the hang of that McLaren, and they're not far off of Mopower and Nugget here, so... Oh, and Nugget going wide, catching some of the grass. Mopower ran on 138.3, 138.4 for Nugget, so their lap times looking comparable. '39s and 38s for Whitey. Well, a couple more 39s for Moby than for Whitey, so they're comparable. Moby's got to tuck into that draft. McLaren is so quick. See how 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, all relatively close. Gentleman Racing still holding them off despite the damage. Another indicator of possibly a need for some class adjustment. Penguin, Guido. Race fans still battling through with that damage. Johnny driving nicely despite the rear aero damage. Yeah, that front aero damage may explain why race fans having a hard time reeling in the Viper. Between bad aero and a V10 ahead of them, it's tough. Not quite halfway through the race yet. I think what Gentleman Racing's thinking here is just to get as far ahead as he can, get as good a run as he can here on this first stint, and maybe counteract some of the effects of the penalty he's probably expecting to get. Speaking of penalties, Penguin carrying a 1-second penalty. Guido's coming after him. Takes a look inside. Here comes the race fan. So he does reel Guido in, despite that damage. And we got a heck of a battle here in this AM class. Oh, Gentleman Racing getting a penalty. That does not bode well for his plans here. So 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, all very close here. Well, not super close, but close enough to cause concern for Gentleman Racing here. Let's check with the leaders. Decent amount of fuel for Timlour. Probably could go another 5-6 laps, but is that advisable given the condition of his tires? Let's check on Turbo's fuel and tires. A lot more fuel. I think Turbo's using a fuel saving tactic here. Let's go on board. See if we can get a sense for what's going on here. Oh yeah, I think he's just hanging back, saving fuel, keeping things close. You know, waiting for a mistake or just trying to do the undercut or overcut on Timlour here. Yeah, given the fuel situation, he may be looking to do that, save a little time on fill up, and get out of not fill up, but on the fuel fill up, and come out ahead after the stop. Will they stop now? No, they don't. They don't stop now. Stay out. Ooh, more power. Oh, a little argy-bargy there from Chicken Nugget. Got the elbows out. Nugget has to go defensive. To turn one, through the S's. More power trying to carry that momentum. More power tucks right back in. Decides to hold off on any attack. Let's check on Whitey and Moby. Looks like Whitey's opened up a gap, safe little gap to Moby. Whitey's tires are in good shape. Moby's quite a bit of wear there, showing itself. Gentleman Racing just can't seem to clean up his act. Still carrying that 4/10 penalty. Maybe looking to burn it off on his way into the pits. Desert Penguin seems to have opened up a little gap to Guido. But now Johnny looks like he's gotten by Race Fan. Battles all through the field here. Amazing start to Season 3. Amazing. Looks maybe a little bit of word has gotten out about the series, And folks are coming in, bringing their game, bringing their A game. And look at Johnny, all over Guido. Penguin goes into the pits. Gentleman Racing into the pit. Yep, it's gonna have to take repairs. And Johnny gets loose coming through the S's, but he's by Guido. Sorry, I cut away to the pit action just as that was going on. Guido's got a fight on his hands here. Oh, goes to the inside. No, keeps it, plays it safe. Race fans in the mix there too. He hasn't given up. Race fan, impressive drive with that damage, as well as Johnny. Matching front and rear damage for Johnny and Race fan. Ooh. Race fan getting really aggressive there. Oh, and Race fan gets by Guido. He's carrying a penalty though. We can see the leaders, Timlour and Turbo, still in that order. Moby in third. It looks like he stayed out. Some folks pitted. All three come in. Around with Pi. Let's go up to the leaders. They still haven't stopped. Coming on in the third sector coming up here. Looks like they might be coming in now. Just about everybody in the field has stopped. Tires are looking awful. Fuel's low. Yeah, they need this. 13 laps to go yet. Yep. Let's see who they come in. Who comes in? Who blinks? Oh, and they both come in. Moby going with the long play. It's gonna go 17 laps before he stops. So that was a tactic Moby used to good effect in Season 2 in the Cayman. Let's see if the Toyota gives that same kind of option. Desert Penguin now out here with Flano, who hasn't pitted. So Flano's pitting. Desert Penguin stays out. And he's got Desert Penguin's opened up a significant lead on Gentleman Racing. Oh, Guido tried to put a move on Gentleman Racing, but he ran wide into turn one. Gentleman Racing just played it cool, tucked it in, and hammered the throttle. Runs wide. Runs wide, and here comes the Viper. So, although I didn't show it, Turbo, by virtue of the fact that he didn't need to take on as much fuel, he's assumed the lead coming out with a significant, well, not significant, but I mean, that's a good 2.5, 3 second lead over Timlour, who held the lead from pole the entire first 16 laps. So now he's got Got 12 laps, this one, and 11 more to close that gap and put the move on Turbo. Oh. Yeah, so the tactics on Turbo's part look to have paid off. Now he's just got to hold the position and follow through. Although he runs wide there, very dangerous. Yeah, that's a decent gap there. Chicken Nugget holding on to third. He's opened up a gap to Mo Power. Yeah, he's got the length of that straight. Maybe 3/4 of the length of that straight on Mo Power. Whitey looks to be closing up on Mo Power. Yeah, he's made some gains. And Moby using that super to good effect, but certainly not as adept as he was with the Cayman, but that's going to come in time. Moby's a very competitive driver, not to mention that super looks damn good. That livery. Oh, Desert Penguin possibly making mistakes here, because it looks like Gentleman Racing has closed up about a 4-second gap. Go on board with Gentleman Racing here. Yeah, he's got a little healthy gap back to Guido. Looks like he's going to try to tuck himself into the draft of that Lexus. Lexus punches a heck of a hole in the air. Where's Guido? Yeah, still a ways back. Closes in a little bit up the hill, and in the tight stuff here. Oh yeah, closes right up. Is he looking to make a move on the outside? Oh, brings it back. Tries a cutback move in a very unconventional location. Yeah, those cutbacks aren't paying off for Gentleman Racing. We'll come back to this in a second. How are we with the leaders? Yeah, the gap looks to be about the same. How's Chicken Nugget doing? Yeah, he's doing good. About equidistant gaps from Nugget to Mo Power to Whitey to Moby. And back to this battle for 7th position. Ooh, very aggressive. Very aggressive on Gentleman Racing's part. Tucks it inside nicely, no contact. He'll try to cut back here, I suppose. Yeah, tries to tuck it in. Oh no! And Desert Penguin chops the nose off. He says, I see that coming. Perfectly fine, perfectly legal. Just good race, good clean racing. Gentleman Racing tries to cut back again. What do we got in the pack behind them? Guido with a nice lead over Race Fan. And Johnny's still hanging back there. Pie for July still hanging back there. Flano chasing Pie. Jason Pie, don't we all? So it looks like everybody's got somebody to play with here in this field. Drummer with some struggles pulls off to let the leaders by. And not necessary, but certainly very gentlemanly. You know, he didn't want to be a factor. Didn't want to factor into this battle here, which is still raging. Don't know how Timlour is going to close this gap, man. They seem to be dead even on times. 37s, 37s, all the way through with very little margin. Let's go back to that 7th position battle. This is a battle that's not really a battle, because Gentleman Race is just trying to stave off what's sure to be a penalty after smashing JW on lap 5. So really just causing a lot of headaches for Desert Penguin. And Guido still got Race Fan on his tail, with Johnny not far behind. Those two get to fighting. You may see Johnny just squeeze in. Oh, Desert Penguin running a little wide, getting a little loose on the curbing. And Gentleman Racing's just a thorn in his side. Let's see what. Yeah, you see the avatar looking back. Where's that BMW? Oh, he gets loose. Gentleman Racing tries to pounce. And they're door to door yet again. Oh, and he cuts off that inside line yet again. Perfectly fine. Desert Penguin had the right to take that line. Hectic here. Uh-oh. Very aggressive move, but clean this time. Gentleman Racing, little argy-bargy, but nothing, no damage, no, I don't even know if there was contact there. They came within millimeters of each other. Whoa, now they're banging doors. Oh, and Desert Penguin uses the power of the Lexus. It gets ahead into turn 1. Gentleman Racing doesn't seem to have an answer for this Lexus here tonight. This is on even terms. Gentleman Racing's got no damage to speak of. He's got fresh tires. Yeah, I'd even argue that his tires might even be fresher than Penguin's. Yeah, they are. Oh, and Penguin brakes much, much earlier. Oh, you see that puff of smoke from Gentleman Racing. Braking supremely late. And this might be it, because Penguin looks to have looks like he's gonna have to be concerned about Guido coming up on him. And let's see, Race Fan and Johnny not far behind. Let's get up there with the leaders. Turbo's still got a decent lead with 5 laps to go. Another little puff of smoke lockup maybe into turn 1. And it looks like Timlour has closed the gap a little bit. Is Turbo feeling the pressure? Lap 24 of 29. Yeah, we see it there. The Mustang closing in. What's the tire situation? The fuel. Fuel's low, but I think Turbo's got enough to certainly go to the distance. Tires aren't looking too bad either. And Timlour, yeah, he's down past a quarter tank. And look at he closes in the gap. Wow. It's it. It's on now. 4 laps. Can Turbo hold him off for 4 laps? V8 power ruling the day here at Interlagos in the GT4 Championship, presented by the International Racing Series. You can see it. You can see Turbo, the V8 Vantage, Timlour, and the V8 Mustang, Little Chicken Nugget, and the V8 Jag, Mopower, another V8 Mustang. We don't see anything really super exotic till we get down to Whitey and in the McLaren. Ooh, on the outside. Timlour on the outside through turn 1, down through the S's, takes the inside line. Oh, the move of the race. Bold. Timlour was not having it. He needed the position. He needed it now. Does Turbo have an answer? Well, not yet. Turbo may be looking to strategize here. They are bumper to bumper. Amazing. Excuse me. Let's check in on the rest of the field. Third, Chicken Nugget, still holding on. He's got a good gap back to Mopower. Decent gap. Whitey doesn't look to have made any inroads on Mopower. That V8's just brutal today, as you can see by how well Timlour is doing as well. Moby, healthy gaps, steady gaps between 3rd down to 7th. Gentleman Racing looks like he's locked down 7th, and he's cleared out, leaving Penguin, Guido, and Race Fan to kind of duke it out here. Although that 7th place by Gentleman Racing is just that's not going to stand. There'll be some penalties there. We don't really know where he's going to end up, but there'll be some time penalties on his finish time, which will ultimately affect the finishing position in the official results. We'll update you in the race 2 replay broadcast about what happens, what the outcome is there. Yeah, so Desert Penguin looking in the mirror, trying to hold off Guido. These guys have put on a good show. Johnny G and Race Fan, man. Tight, no contact. Now, if you recall, there was some damage on the front end of Race Fan's Ferrari, but there was also damage on the back end of Johnny's Corvette. So we're not 100%, but it looked like those two matched up and maybe had some contact early in the race. They soldiered on through to the first pit stop, got their damage repaired, took on fuel and tires, and here they are back at it again. So let's see how things develop here. Try to bounce back and forth between these guys and the leaders, seeing how the midfield's pretty much got some healthy gaps. Wait a second here. Oh, it looks like Guido's gotten by Penguin, and as a result, Penguin has fallen into the clutches of Race Fan. Oh, Argy Bargy. Contact again. Easy, fellas. Oh. The Ferrari misses the braking point. Race fan misses braking point due to the contact. Gets out a little bit. That could have been worse. Could have been much worse. Oh, and here we have it now. Racing incident there. Doesn't look like any penalties will be handed out for that. There's no damage. Let's see. Does Penguin have damage? Nope. Just a little bit of little fender bender. Buff right out. That Lexus. Oh, race fan. You can see him getting on that throttle right away. Check the mirrors. No, he doesn't. Drifts it a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of a drifting corner entry style by race fan. Whoa! No, that's not drifting. That's just straight up glitching. Strange. Hopefully it doesn't affect the racing here. Oh! Damage, suspension damage for Johnny. And suspension damage for race fan as well. Yeah, the stewards are gonna have to review that. See what was up with that. It looked like race fan was stuttering, glitching there a little bit, but it didn't seem a couple corners before that, but it didn't seem like that was going on in that particular turn. And maybe Johnny just missed his braking point. Neither driver took to the pits, even though they both got damaged, so be an interesting situation for the stewards to deal with here. Oh. And now, back to the leaders for the final lap. Oh my. Look at Turbo strategizing. Look at Timlour's fuel. Oh, goes inside. Timlour holds the outside, holds it, stays on it, never lifts. Oh boy. Side by side. The uphill right-hander, still side by side. Timlour holds the inside line, runs the car wide, leaves enough room though. Timlour to the inside, cuts Turbo's nose off there, totally legit. He had the right to that line. Turbo. And it looks like Timlour may have held off the attack by Turbo with a bold pass on the outside into turn one. Oh my. If this is race one, really looking forward to the rest of the season. Let's see, can he draft? Can Turbo get the draft? Goes to the outside, inches. Oh! I gotta have to see what the margin of victory was there. It was nothing. The hundredths of a second. Amazing. What a finish. Well done, gentlemen. Congrats to Timlour on the win. Congrats to Turbo. Heck of a battle for second place. Chicken Nugget secures third. Not bad for a newcomer. Mo Power fourth. Whitey 5th, Moby 6th. 7th, but not really, Gentleman Racing. Clean up your driving, Gentleman Racing. He's going to be probably most likely looking at a penalty, which may move Desert Penguin. So unofficial results, Desert Penguin 8th in the Lexus. Wait a minute. Yeah, Gentleman Guido in 9th. Johnny 10th. Race Fan 11th. Pie for July 12th. Flano 13th. Drummer 14th. And it looks like JW had enough at some point and left the race. Very unfortunate.